Hi, this is Seven, and this is part four of Following the Spiritual Path. I was talking about in the previous video, I was talking about ego plays a big part in following the spiritual path. There are people who, like I said, everybody's path is different. There are people who come to spiritual realizations through their ego processes because your ego houses your intellect. It is the ability to give you identity. However, the ego also is been in control for so long. Unless you were born into an enlightened being, mother or father, and they brainwashed you and they kept you out of society, and all you learned was the enlightened path, so you reached enlightenment through default and brainwashing, which is extremely rare. Ego is going to be a part of the path. Have you ever saw somebody that was full of knowledge, maybe a minister or a guru that was full of knowledge, but they were very arrogant because they were full of knowledge? And you notice those are the people who have the biggest problem with following their own teachings. It's because their ego has sucked them into my knowledge, where now the knowledge is a possession that their ego possesses instead of a tool for their spirit to shine through. Good intentions, horrible results. Ego has to be paid attention to in the spiritual path. You have to be aware of what it is. You have to be aware of when you're using it. The biggest tip that I can say about following the spiritual path is pay attention. Pay attention to everything. Everything. Body has been in control for so long. Emotions have been in control for so long. Emotions react. Emotions compute very quickly because they go with your knowledge of right and wrong. They pick a side and they react. Sometimes they react in anger. Sometimes they react in joy. Sometimes they react in confusion, but they react. Emotions are tools to process events, but by paying attention to them, what you're doing is you're creating a space between the event and the ego. Once you create that space, trust the universe, even if it takes years for that space to become bigger. All you need to do to find out the truth is create that space. Pay attention to yourself. What do you do? Why do you do it? Where is that coming from? Where did it start? A lot of the processes of the spiritual path, you will find out, will take you back to emotions and thoughts and opinions that you've had since you were a kid, because we're all conditioned to think a certain way by what we've learned, by what our environment has taught us, our parents have taught us, what we've decided on our own based off what we see, what we feel. We are conditioned from the moment we are born. Dissolving the ego is unconditioning every condition that was ever made. And in doing that, you will realize that you are made in the true image of God, that you are perfect just the way you are, that your personality is a gift for you to navigate through the life's journey and lessons. However, your spirit has always been there. God has always been there. If you go looking for God, you will find God in whatever form that God is easiest to reveal to you. There is a peace that comes along with the spiritual path. There's a joy, and life just becomes easier to navigate. It is so worth going down. If you trust and believe that the truth is out there, you will find the truth. This concludes Following the Spiritual Path by 7. Thank you for your time.